Hey Tamron, my name is Nicole and I'm a recovering addict and I struggle with food addiction now, especially since we've been on lockdown. It's just the point where I will eat myself until I am about to pass out. I will eat until I'm in pain, and I know that I don't need to be doing it. I know that it's going to hurt me. I know that I'm going to be uncomfortable, but it's that dopamine hit that I'm getting every time I get that food, and then I'm just like out of control, and I need help. I need to get out of this vicious cycle because I'm sober now, and I shouldn't have to be struggling with this other addiction. It's about 8 o'clock at night, and I'm going to have a tuna sandwich on a bagel with some hummus, and I'm eating this leftover rice also. Hopefully, I won't binge tonight. I don't want to binge tonight, so I'm just going to eat this for dinner. I have a son, he's 5 years old. I want to be able to do things with him, and if I keep going the direction that I'm going, I'm not going to be around for my son because I'm going to have a heart attack or I'm going to get diabetes, and so it's time to make a change.
Nicole Ploudre joins us from her home in Little Rock, Arkansas. Nicole, I'm watching that video and I heard you say, I don't want to binge, but I'm going to binge. How did you realize you were slipping into a food addiction as a result, especially of this pandemic?
Well, sorry, I'm a little emotional just watching myself talk there. For 2 years after I got sober, I started realizing that I was overeating, and I would always make excuses for myself. I would say things like, well, I'm just making up for all those times I didn't eat, because when I was in my addiction, I was really, really thin. And I would just make excuse after excuse after excuse until it just snowballed. And now I just find myself, at this point where it's like I get discouraged and it feels like there's no turning back.
Listen, there's always a chance to reset, and you have a lot of stress in your life right now. That's why I wanted to talk to you, because I know people will relate to what you're going through. You're homeschooling your son, your husband's an essential worker who's been in close contact with people every day who may or may not have it, but it's the stress of this. Are these things triggers for you as well?
Yes, ma'am, they are. I beat myself up. I'm very critical of myself. It's very important for me to stay sober and stay away from drugs. So that's a lot of my focus is staying sober and staying away from drugs. But then what I find myself doing is, picking up, snacks and overeating. And homeschooling my son, from the home is just adding more stress, because then I think I'm failing as a mother because I'm not getting his homework done on time. And it's just a snowball effect. It just gets worse and worse. Yeah. And then I find myself just like, oh my God, how am I going to do this?
Yeah. Tell me, how are these binges similar to the food binge and the binge with meth? Are they similar? Do they trigger the same sensation?
Drugs are like, the high that I got from drugs was so strong and it was so elusive that I would do things. I would choose drugs over my own child. But with food, it's like, it's a lower feeling than that, but it's still like, this feels good. I'm getting what I need. When I'm stressed out, I can go eat. When I'm having a bad day, I can go eat. When I'm, when I'm happy, I go eat. Everything is centered around food in my life.
Wow. So you say as soon as you start eating, you can't stop until you are in pain, in actual pain from this. Obviously, with drugs, the access should be harder than food. Food is around us all day. If it's a sandwich, if it's a bag of chips, it's there for you. Is that why it's hard to beat this? Because it's just there.
Yes, I have to eat to live. So imagine, with drugs, you take the drug into your body, it triggers you, and then you crave more. Okay, but you have to go out and search for those drugs, find money to get those drugs. It's the same thing with food. I put the food in my mouth, it triggers a craving to eat more. But there's food all throughout my house. I don't have to go looking for food.